Hey there, welcome to Outdoors and Country Living. My name is Leanne. What do you say we can some tomatoes in their own juice? This is a basic canning recipe. We're going to need some fresh tomatoes from the garden. These are tomatoes that we grow here on our homestead. Most years we have a beautiful crop of tomatoes, such as these. Came straight from the vines. We're going to take them in the kitchen and get canning. Hope you stick around. All right, so we're going to wash our tomatoes and core them. So you're going to cut out that top part where it attaches to the tomato plant. Going to need something to put them in so the juices don't run everywhere. And then we have a pan of hot water over here. We're going to scald the tomatoes to slip the skins. Got to take all the skins off the tomatoes before we can them. Just got a simmering hot pot of water there. Clean tomatoes. Just going to show you here how I core the tomatoes. So I just cut out the top of the tomato where it attached to the tomato plant. Just make a little circle there and pop that out. Some people score the bottom of the tomatoes. I don't find that it's necessary, but you certainly can if that's what you're used to doing, or if somebody told you to do it. But you'll see here shortly after we scald some that I don't feel that it's necessary. So I'm processing a lot of tomatoes as I normally do each year. So depending on how many you're doing, you might be coring for a while or you might not. So once we get a decent amount cored, I'm going to start scalding them in that pot of hot water. Now there's no set amount of time that you need to leave the tomatoes in. I basically go by look instead of time. So you can tell the water is nice and hot, near boiling. I'm just going to plop in several. I do mass canning, or what I consider mass canning, bulk canning, whatever you want to call it, most all the time. So I'm processing a lot of fruits and vegetables in the kitchen. So I just load this puppy up. And they're going to sit in here a few minutes until the skins start curling up a little bit. So utilize your time and your space in your pot. Now I know not everybody's going to have big stock pots like this. That's okay if you're just getting started. I've been canning going on 30 years this year, so we have a lot of canning equipment that has made it easier over the years. So you can see the skins curled or peeled up a little bit. That's what we're looking for. They're going to peel off of there so easy. So once you peel the skins or scald the tomatoes to get the skins to peel, you want to put them into cold water. Some people may say an ice bath. You can certainly do an ice bath. That's not going to hurt anything. I just use cold tap water. Again, I'm processing a lot of tomatoes. I would deplete our entire ice that we have in the house, which I don't want to do. So I just use the kitchen sink. You certainly could use a bowl. People seem to have some strong opinions about me using a kitchen sink, but I assure you it's clean and sanitary. So just remove your tomatoes into your cold water bath or your ice bath. Stops the cooking process and helps those skins peel easier. And then we're just going to leave this pot of water on the burner, keeping it nice and hot for the next batch. Now that the tomatoes are soaking in the cold water bath, we're going to start peeling the skins off. They typically come off pretty easy. You can tell where no scoring was really necessary on the bottom of the tomato. Some can be a little challenging, but most of the time they slip off pretty easily. The tomatoes are quite slippery once you peel them, so hang on to them so they don't create a mess for you. You can see some dark spots, problematic spots in the tomatoes in this one, so just trim them out with the paring knife. So this tomato is peeling quite easily, but you see a little bit of yellow around where the top of the tomato is. Those typically the skins won't peel off, so I just trim them out and don't worry about them. The chickens will enjoy the scraps. So just work through all of your tomatoes and peel them. I feel that this is the most tedious part of canning tomatoes, but it's really important that we skin the tomatoes because that's where the bacteria can live on tomatoes, and we certainly don't want to put that bacteria into our jars because that will make them spoil and be a waste of your efforts. So it's important that you remove the skins from the tomatoes before canning. So now that we have a good portion peeled, we're going to start chopping the tomatoes. Now you can do this many ways. I'm going to put them into this large bowl. I like to chop them in my hand. I've used a cutting board in the past and it creates a giant mess. So since I want to use the tomato juices anyway for canning purposes, I just cut the tomatoes right over the bowl. The juices, tomatoes, all go into the bowl because that's what we're wanting to jar up and preserve anyway. If you don't feel comfortable cutting like this, use a cutting board. If you have some physical disabilities that don't allow you to do this, use whatever works well for you. I'm just showing you how I do it. This is my preference, and I find that it's the least messy. Just keep your elbows up or you're going to have tomato juice running down your elbows. So I prefer to stand to do this kind of task. I'm a person that stands in the kitchen. I am not a sitter for working. So the knife can get a little tedious, and I find just tearing the tomatoes with my fingers is a lot faster, a lot safer. So this is another option. I showed you with a knife, but my preference really is with my fingers. As my grandmother always told me, God gave me my hands first. So let's just use our hands instead of utensils. Do what you like though. Doesn't have to be perfect or beautiful. So now that I have my bowl pretty full of the chopped, torn tomatoes, we're going to start putting them in jars. So we're going to be using quart jars. You're going to need some lemon juice. I like to use this organic lemon juice. We get it through Azure Standard. You're going to use 2 tablespoons of lemon juice for every quart jar. So if you're canning in pints, use 1 tablespoon per pint. The lemon juice is essential because it makes the acidity in each jar equal. It's a food safety item and preservation item. You want that acid to be equal in each jar so they last a long time and they don't go bad. Each tomato's acidity is different, so that's why we have to make the acidity in each jar equal. Use a non-metal utensil to get the tomatoes in the jar. Get as many tomatoes in there. Also create some juice to surround the tomatoes. You can certainly use a canning tool. I don't have any canning tools, so I use this wooden utensil. You want to leave 1 inch of headspace, roughly 1 inch of headspace in each jar. Here's my wooden utensil that I'm using. Use it for lots of things, but it's very handy for canning. So after our jars are filled, we're going to wipe the rims with a damp washcloth. Some people use vinegar. I've never used vinegar to wipe my rims. Just use a damp washcloth, put the lid and the band on, tighten the band fingertip tight. Don't go crazy or your lids will pucker in the canning process. So these are just clean room temperature jars. Tomatoes are room temperature. The lids are room temperature. So they're ready for the canner. There's no need to sterilize your lids or your jars as long as you're processing them for 10 minutes or longer in a water bath canner or a pressure canner. We're not doing pressure canner today with the tomatoes, but just telling you. So fill your water bath canner with your jars. Mine holds 7. Add water to cover the jars by 1 to 2 inches. Again, our jars are cold, our tomatoes are cold, so we're adding cold water. Canner's cold, everything's starting out at the same temperature. This is key for canning. But like I said, as long as you're processing your canned goods for longer than 10 minutes, whether it's a water bath canner or a pressure canner, you don't have to sterilize your jars or your lids. It'll all happen in the canning process. So once you get the water in, lid on, turn your burner on high, get it hot, bring it to a rolling boil. And this process takes a little time. I'm just showing you here this portable burner that we use. We get a lot of questions on this. We've used them for several years now. The info on it will be in the video description, so be sure to click the word more to find out more information about it. It's a commercial grade, portable, cast plate burner. We have 2 of them. I would highly recommend them. So once the water bath canner gets up to a rolling boil, you're going to set a timer for 45 minutes. These are going to process in the boiling water for 45 minutes. So after that time frame is up, turn the heat off, remove the canner lid, and you're going to let this sit here like this for 10 minutes. You could go 10 to 15 minutes if you want, but this will prevent siphoning. Very, very important with everything that you can, that you do this. After you let it rest for 10 minutes, 10 to 15, remove the jars. See, no siphoning going on. That's exactly what we want. Gives those jars time to adjust by letting them sit in that hot water. So using jar lifters, sit your jars on a protected surface. You can use a cutting board and or a towel. But here's the finished product. The separation at the bottom is normal. You can see that it's got good suction. The tomatoes are sucked up toward the top. We're going to let them sit here for about 24 hours. So it's the next morning. They're nice and cool. We're going to remove all of the bands on the jars. The reason why we do this is also in the video description, so make sure you read that. It's a food safety thing. It's so you can tell if a jar has gone bad. So you can see the separation again. And to get rid of it, you just simply shake it a little bit and it's gone. The tomatoes will settle to the bottom, and they will eventually over time. But just showing you here, it's of no concern. It's absolutely normal. Beautiful canned tomatoes. So I like to wash my jars. I like to clean them up. With canning tomatoes, you'll feel a little sticky residue around the neck of the jar. I'm just using a very mild dish soap, some water, and a dish rag. This is my preference. I like a clean pantry. I don't want sticky jars. So I just clean everything up, and we're going to get it ready for storage down in our basement pantry. So I'll dry them off, label them with the year. I know what they are. You can certainly write tomatoes on the lid if you want, but we don't. We just write the year that they were canned, and they will last many years. Thanks for watching how I can our tomatoes for the pantry. They're going to make some really good soups and other recipes. Take care. We'll see you next time. May God bless you.